Hi everyone, welcome back. Spring is in the air, so I wanted to do a little bit of spring cleaning motivation for you today. I'm going to be doing a two-part video. Today is going to be part one, where I just tackle some of the things that are on my spring cleaning list, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of decorating. So I did bring up my bin from the basement with some of my spring decorations. If you're new here, I mentioned that we moved into this house January 2025, but we planned a wedding in the first year that we lived here. So this is going to be my first year actually decorating this house, and I don't have a ton of spring stuff, but let's see what we can come up with.
But first, cleaning. So when winter starts to come to an end and I start to think about the spring, the first thing that I do is open a notepad on my phone and start listing out all the things that I need to get done in order to prepare for spring and summer. I also list out all the things that I notice I haven't been cleaning throughout the winter time, just like things that aren't part of my regular daily and weekly cleaning routines. This is what I call my spring cleaning list. So my spring cleaning list ends up being pretty random, and throughout this video I am tackling a few things here and there on different days, but for the sake of the video I did put them together in order of room by room just to keep it somewhat organized. So I'm just going to show you what I have done so far. So starting here with my hair dryer, I am just giving the filter a quick clean with this handy little brush tool that comes with it, and it's just getting off any built up lint. Next up, I am cleaning my makeup brushes. So to do this, I like to use baby shampoo and water. I have this little silicone dish with grooves in it that helps get the brushes nice and clean. And then once the brushes are clean, I'm just gonna set them on that face cloth there to dry overnight. So there's just no better feeling than applying your makeup with a nice clean brush. It just feels so much better on your skin and your makeup goes on so much smoother. Moving on to swapping my razor out, I try to remember to do this monthly since I shave every time I shower. My razors do get a lot of use in a month, but I often forget since I think about this while I'm using the razor, and then by the time I get out of the shower, I forget. So here's your reminder to my fellow shavers out there, make sure that you swap out those dull razors. Alright, this is my hairbrush. I always pull the loose hair out of my brush after I'm done brushing my hair, but lots of hair still gets stuck in there, and there's lots of lint and dust that gets stuck too. I use a toothpick, a toothbrush, and baby shampoo to get my brush clean. Using the toothpick, I can get most of the hair out of the brush, and then I will wash it with the shampoo and the toothbrush, and then I go back in and touch up any areas that need extra loving and run the toothpick through again to grab the last little bit of stuck hairs out. it looks so much better in the end. Moving on to my toothbrush, it is well past time for me to swap out my toothbrush head. I have a basket in my closet here that has all of my bulk teeth items like toothpaste, floss, mouthguard cleaner, and toothbrush heads. So I am just gonna struggle to get this out of the package, and then I'm going to replace the head on my toothbrush. So amidst my daily cleaning, I did have to make some more of my cleaner, so I thought I would share that here for you in this video. So my cleaning recipe calls for a quarter cup of Dr. Bronner's cleaner concentrate, 1/4 teaspoon of essential oil. I usually use tea tree because it has disinfecting properties, but I think this time I ended up using lemon because I was going for more of a spring scent. I am just adding those two ingredients into 1 liter of water, and that's it. So it is so affordable, and I don't have to have a cabinet full of all sorts of different cleaning products because I just use this for everything except for glass. I do still use a traditional glass cleaner, but there is a glass cleaning recipe on the Cleaner Concentrates website if you're interested in giving that a try. I've just never tried it, and I have lots of leftover glass cleaner, so that's what I've been using. Moving over to my Nespresso, I am just doing a clean cycle here rather than a full descale. I usually descale the machine every season change, but when I'm filming this, it's not quite spring yet, so I'll be doing the descale cycle in the next month or so. Anyways, I am just emptying out the used pods, and then I'm going to be running the clean cycle. As I emptied the pods there, you can see a little bit of this like black gunk that dripped all over the place. So we gotta clean that up before we put the pods away and continue with cleaning the machine. So I filled the water tank and now I'm gonna go ahead and run the clean cycle. You need a large mug to run this cycle, so I'm just grabbing the biggest coffee mug that I own, and yes, it does say what you think it says. This mug was a gag gift that I received from one of my family's Christmases many, many years ago. My mug cupboard is a little bit ridiculous, but I love a good fun mug for my coffee in the morning. So I never got rid of it. I kept it and I use it regularly. So after the clean cycle was done, I'm just taking all the pieces of the Nespresso off and just putting them in my sink to be washed with my dishes later that evening, and then I'm going to wipe down the machine in full. My husband actually said to me the next morning, he asked me if we got a new Nespresso. So it gave me a little bit of mixed emotions. First of all, I was really proud that I did an awesome job cleaning the machine, that it looked brand new. But then I was like, wait, was my machine actually that gross that he noticed that it was clean and that he thought we actually purchased a new one? And the answer is yes, it was pretty gross. When I'm cleaning my Nespresso machine, I'm usually just wiping the outside of it. I don't usually get into all these crevices here. And you can see me like dipping the cloth into the like center part of the machine and then scrubbing more. It's because it was so sticky and there was still like boiling water in that little part of the machine. So I was using the hot water to help me get some of the stickiness off, and it just looks so much better. So satisfying. Moving into my bedroom, I mentioned in my bedroom clean with me that I was going to put vacuuming under these bedside tables onto my spring cleaning list, so here it is. I'm just going to move these tables out of the way and vacuum in behind them. Be sure to enjoy these carpet lines because they're good. So apparently I didn't think you guys needed to see this second set of carpet lines here, so I apologize for that. I forgot to move the camera, but they looked really nice. moving into our entryway. This rug, as you can see, gets a lot of lovin'. I get really good winters where I live, and I highly recommend this entryway rug if you are living in a place where you get lots of snow. It's very thin and it comes in lots of neutral colors. It's heavy enough that it doesn't move around a ton on my floor. And even though you can see it looks very stained from the salt outside at the start of this video, it does come clean when you wash it. So I'm just using a handheld shampooer with some stain remover and water in it. And it's a bit tedious to do, but it's totally worth the results. It doesn't take more than a few minutes here. This shampooer is a great tool to have. It sprays the cleaning solution and it has scrubbing bristles to help you get deep into the fabric, but it is also a vacuum. So after I give the mat a good scrub, I'm just tilting the attachment forward slightly and then using the vacuum part to suck up as much of the moisture as I can. It was definitely an arm workout, that's for sure. I am feeling the burn even just watching it back. But anyways, the mat dried overnight, and at the end of this scrubbing session, I took a picture of it, so I'll show you what it did look like after it dried, because it's hard to tell if you're actually getting all the salt out, because once it's wet, it just looks perfectly clean. But yes, stay tuned while I scrub this mat. It was so satisfying to get this clean. Definitely not something that I am looking forward to doing on a weekly basis, but as we come to the end of the winter season, it's nice to get this nice and clean for the spring and summer. So this entryway was actually the first room, if you will, that we made over when we bought this house. So it's we finished this recently, and I just wanted to mention, because I love looking at the floors, we did the floors ourselves here, and these are just peel and stick tiles, if you can believe it. We went right over top of the existing ceramic that was there. It was just so slippery having ceramic in this entryway when we're coming in with wet boots all the time. So we went over top of it with these peel and stick tiles and added some character and some fun to our entryway, and I couldn't be happier with how it turned out. So here is the rug the next morning. It is looking so much better. Moving on to cleaning my car. So the sun was shining this day and the snow was all melted from earlier in the week when it was warm. So I thought it was going to be a nice day to do this, but it turns out that it was actually freezing cold outside, but I still powered through. It was nice to get outside and breathe some fresh air anyways, but my hands were so numb by the time I was finished this. Anyways, I keep this little duster that I'm using in the glove box of my car so that I can dust my car when I'm thinking about it and I'm sitting in my car. My hubby often drives us around, so I am definitely a passenger princess whenever I can be. And while he's driving, I like to be able to do some dusting if it crosses my mind. So, first, I'm just going around and doing a dry dust with this little duster, and then I'm going to be doing the inside of the windows with some glass cleaner. I decided to save the outside of the windows for a warmer day. So when I'm done the inside of the windows, I'm gonna go in with my all-purpose cleaner and just wipe down all the surfaces, and then finally I will go in and vacuum. Usually I would use the shop vac first to get like the rocks and the more like aggressive items out of the car, and then I would go in with my Dyson to do a more thorough vacuum. But again, it was very cold this day, so I decided to leave the second vacuum for a warmer day. Sometimes done is better than perfect, and this was just one of those times. Also, shout out to my husband for braving the cold and filming this for me. So I'm not sure how well the camera is going to pick up the dog hair here, but if you're new here, I've mentioned in past videos that I don't have any pets, but we do like to dog sit for people, so there have been many dogs in this car, and unfortunately, dog hair is just hard to get out of those little crevices. I didn't have it in me today to spend any additional time getting all of those little hairs out. Done is better than perfect. Progression is better than perfection. However you want to put it, my car looks better than it did when we started, so that is a win for me. That is also why you will see that there's a cover on my back seat. It is for our lovely little dog visitors that we have. I just keep it in there all the time because it's also just nice to have to protect the back seats. We go back and forth to the lake in the summertime, so like I'm often cramming coolers and other like large items or heavy items into the back seat to bring back and forth to the lake and our house. So I just feel better when I'm not sliding things across the leather. After I was finished doing this, I added shampoo car mats to my spring cleaning list. On to the decorating. So, like I said in the intro, I don't have a ton of spring decor, so I'm just going to be putting a few things throughout my house. So, starting with this wreath, I made this wreath years and years ago. Decorating is like so expensive in my opinion, so I try to make a lot of my decor and then buy a few things new. So each year I'll try to buy one thing new and make one thing new. So these tea towels are new from HomeSense. I bought them, I think 2 years ago I bought them. And then this table runner I got a couple years ago. I think I got it from Amazon and it doesn't fit this table. So you can see that I'm gonna try to do it lengthwise because I thought it would fit, but the little bunny ears, at least in my opinion, I think should be hanging off the ends of the table. So I ended up just putting it in the center like this instead. I got this little napkin holder from the dollar store many, many years ago. Like I'm talking like 15 years ago or something like that. And then these napkins I bought from Costco so long ago, and I don't even really love the pattern anymore, but there's just so many in a pack and we don't use napkins a ton. Like you've seen my dining room table, you see that we have like linens that we'll use as napkins. So when people come over, I try to make sure that I use these disposable napkins, but it's like the never ending bag of napkin and it brightens up the space. So we're going to use them until they run out. So this little glass vase is from the dollar store from many years ago, and the little ribbon I tied around it is also from the dollar store. The tulips I think I bought on Amazon a few years ago. This little tray that I'm going to set up, I actually found this year in a thrift store, so this is my something new for this year, even though it's not new. It's actually a craft that somebody made, but it is just so cute, I could not leave it behind. So this cute little buddy tray with these homemade carrots is my something new for this year. This is a little wine stopper that was gifted to me a few years ago. I just think it's so cute. I don't have any bottles of wine out at the moment, so I'm just going to put it in this little glass to be used in the future. And then I'm going to be setting up a couple of little things here. Everything's from the dollar store, so just a little bunny, a little egg, and then a little glass jar with some Easter, what's it called? Easter grass? I think that's what you call it, with some little eggs in it. Next up is this cute little bunny that is also from the dollar store. I just thought it was super cute. I could not leave it behind, so I'm just adding that to my windowsill here. And then I got this for, actually, I think it was a Christmas gift. It was like a Secret Santa situation, and it's just like a little tea light holder, but it's a cracked egg, so I keep it with my Easter stuff. And then this little plate is from the dollar store as well. Hanging this little wreath, I made this years ago just with like some leftover florals and a wreath that I had. I think I actually bought it for something else and then ended up just throwing some flowers in it and using it for spring. So I'm just putting this on the door that goes into my backyard.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up for me. Please leave any questions or comments you have for me down below. I'll be happy to answer those. And make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss part 2, where I'm going to be doing some more spring cleaning and decorating. Bye! Spring cleaning adventures. Just kidding, I don't like that. Make sure that you're subscribed so that you don't miss part 2 of my spring cleaning. I almost said adventures again.